Hold up. All right, we good. We on.
All right. What's up? What's up? What's up? This is Scott and Brandon Anderson, and we are here
Yes, sir.
with the Chaos Podcast. I want to mention some of our sponsors first. Coliseum Media. Let us bring your vision to life. It is a videography photography company where they do edits. They do movies. They create films. Anything you need that can bring your family, like if you have a birthday or something, you want to get at them, they're really good. You can hit them up. Coliseum Media is a sponsor of this podcast. Also, Top Notch Training is a youth development program out of Delaware. We train different. We teach our athletes to get better 1% every day, just get better than you were the day before. And also a sponsor on our podcast is Boost Basketball Program out of California. Your athletes looking to get better in the sport of basketball, you definitely want to get out there. They take their time to develop their athletes, and it is one of the most elite programs in California. With that being said, to our sponsors and cuz episode 2, baby.
Hey, what's man, up? we gotta get the people what they ask for, right? I mean, you know, people. I'm a crowd pleaser. That's what I do. That's what we do, man.
Absolutely. So I see the shirt you got on there. You got the Boost basketball shirt. What's up with that?
I got the Boost shirt on. It's Boost basketball. It's a travel ball team. My brother Mark Stevenson is basically the owner of the business. I'm one of the coaches, and we're about taking kids to the next level. If you have talent, you have ability, and you're trying to get better, you're trying to grow that. That's kind of what the goal is. And there's a Facebook page. Just type in Boost basketball. And it'll give you all the information where you can sign up. The next practices, our next practices is in the IE in Fontana, South Fontana, at the Southridge Middle School, Technical Middle School is going to be our next practice on 4/14. This will be debuting on the day of the practices that we have. So, but you want to get involved, just reach out and then we'll get you started.
All right, that's what's up. And a shout out because by the time this drops, his birthday will have been going on. So there's 2 people I want to shout out today. Happy birthday to my son Darius.
Hey, young 14. King.
And I want to give a happy birthday shout out to our cousin AJ. He getting old. They share birthdays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, yeah. Right.
20, what is you, 20, 25, 26 or something? Either way, we getting old, cuz. But
man.
Happy birthday happy birthday to our cousin. You guys keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great things. AJ's in the military doing his thing. My son is eating me out of house and home. So we just
AJ.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So a couple things I want to get on today, and we're going to talk about the NBA play-in, which is going on right now. Currently, as we speak, the NBA play-in has started. The Eastern Conference right now, Atlanta Hawks are playing the Miami Heat. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the MVP race and where our opinions are on that, popular opinion and whatnot. And then we're going to talk about a little bit of NFL's is ramping up. The NFL draft is coming up.
Right.
Hasn't been a whole lot of movement, but there is one move that we want to talk about. Beckham Jr. signed a 3-year deal with the Ravens.
With the Ravens.
Who saw that coming? That coming? Nobody. So I want to talk to you. I really want to get your thoughts on this, and I'm going to tell you what I think about it. So honestly, I feel like this move was. I don't want to say it's a weak attempt at trying to appease Lamar Jackson, but it is. It is. Right. To me, it's a weak attempt to keep Lamar Jackson. No shade thrown on OBJ whatsoever. Right. This is, to be honest with you, if Lamar Jackson decides to stay or he decides to play this year, let's say that, because whether he stays or not, it's not up to him. But whether he is going to be beneficial. Great, Odell Beckham Jr. Right. You can't ask for a more ideal situation. First of all, you're coming off an ACL injury. You didn't sign last year. You've been out of football for a year plus. You're older.
Right.
And offense that doesn't demand wide receivers to be carry the offense. They got a 3-headed monsters at running backs. If they don't have it now, they'll probably draft another one. You got Lamar Jackson if he decides to play. But the way that offense is built for players like him to just excel in moments. And that's what made him great. He didn't have to carry the load. He played with Cooper Kupp, which is arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL right now. It's not just statistics wise, but just, production is production. Right. And when you look at that, you look at what Lamar Jackson brings. This is going to extend his career. Mm-hmm. Not having to carry the load. He can get about 60, 70 catches a year, maybe 800 yards, 5 or 6 touchdowns. And that'll be more production than consistently than any receiver that's been playing for the Ravens at this point, but over the past 2 years. So I don't think it's the marquee name that carries the load like an AJ Brown brought to the Eagles offense. Or, something like that. Even the Chicago Bears, no wide receivers. DJ Moore. It's not a Brandon Cooks type of signing with the Cowboys. It's not a Mecole Hardman situation. Not that Mecole's great, but being a part of the offense with the Jets. So I want to know what you think about the move, and do you feel like this is something that's going to eventually iron itself out where Lamar ends up having to play?
I don't like the move, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay. I don't like it, not because of OBJ. I don't like it because OBJ doesn't know for sure if Lamar's coming back. If he knew fact that Lamar was coming back, then I say perfect. I love it. You know what I mean? You could bring him in, but this I don't really know. So we don't know what they use to sell him on coming to the Ravens. It has to be that maybe Lamar, that they have something in the plans to get Lamar back.
It has to be. I don't think there's any question that that's the case.
Huh?
I said it has to be. I don't think there's any question that they're trying to do it that way.
Till I know for sure that Lamar is back and these boys can get together and start working out. As of right now, where it sits, I was kind of thrown off. I didn't see that coming. I too think it's an attempt. It's like, hey man, look, we got you a nice shiny new toy. You know what I'm saying? Would this be good enough for you to come back and play with us? Is he a great addition? Yeah, I love the fact that you added him. Just not knowing where Lamar is at, if he's gonna come back, if he decides to. I don't like it for OBJ because now he's stuck playing with a rookie for the next 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. Right. So outside of that, the not knowing for sure where it's locked in, because I see like the Jets are still trying to figure out the Aaron Rodgers deal. And it kind of like puts everything in limbo to where you can't work with your receivers, you can't develop for the season and stuff like that. So outside of that aspect of it, I think it's great for Lamar Jackson. I think it's great for the team, for the Ravens. I think it's great for OBJ to get another opportunity. It kind of sucked to see him go down with the injury he had in the Super Bowl after the season and the way he played. Am I a little concerned because he did both ACLs? You know what I mean? Is that but the way he bounced back, he's an athlete, you know what I mean? And the stuff that they have. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to see what he does. Is he still one of the best wide receivers in the league? Absolutely. You know what I mean? So I think he's going to do some production. If I was him, I would just want to know for sure, is this going to be my quarterback? You know what I mean? I 1-year deal. It's not like a crazy deal or nothing like that. But as competitive as he is, and we all know that he is, I would want to know for sure that, this is definitely going to be my quarterback. Let's get on the field and get the word.
Well, let's pivot on that. Let's pivot from the quarterback situation, because I feel like we talked a lot about Lamar last week, and we all know it's just going to be a situation that's going to have to iron itself out. It's just a wait and see at this point. I'm very interested to see what the Ravens do in the draft. Now, let's pivot on that. We're talking about quarterbacks. Let's talk about the Jets situation, because you brought that up. With Aaron Rodgers, and this almost a foregone conclusion that the Jets are going to try to do everything they can to get Aaron Rodgers to come there.
Correct.
Does that make Jets now team to beat in the AFC East? I mean, let's think about this. Lost a running back. They do have James Cook. They have pretty much their same team intact. At this point, Josh Allen hasn't been able to get it done.
Right.
What it is. Right. He hasn't been able to get it done. was him, would retire from football. You wouldn't see me line up to play football again. He's had 3 concussions last year alone.
Right.
In a position that primarily in the league at this point is protecting the quarterback.
Right.
Then you have Patriots, which I'm not a believer in Patriots quarterback situations. You know, I just I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that they can make the moves that they need to make. So you got the Jets now.
Right.
Running back that's going to be coming back healthy. They already got a defense. Added another weapon with Mecole Hardman. Added Aaron Rodgers. Do you think the Jets can come out of the East at that point?
Yes, for everything that you mentioned, with all the teams that you mentioned and stuff like that, with all the we don't know, absolutely. With Aaron Rodgers on that team, the Jets automatically become a playoff contender. They can make it. They can be able to do something. However, my biggest thing is all the top quarterbacks are in the AFC. There's very few top quarterbacks in the NFC. Like, there's not a lot. You know what I mean? I mean, you got to throw like cats like Kirk Cousins and all in there because that's what you have. There's not much over in the NFC. You have
Hold on. I am not about to let you put Kirk Cousins. No.
Listen, if you go on NFC top quarterbacks,
time out. I will give you Dak. I will give you Dak Prescott.
You'll take Dak over Cousins.
Absolutely. I hate Dallas. You know.
Okay.
This.
All right.
I hate Dallas.
We'll spin back to that. We'll spin back.
Kirk out of there. First of all, Jalen, Dak.
I want to get to my point. No,
all right, go ahead.
There's not, as you can see, the debate can go on. There's not a lot of top tier quarterbacks in the NFC. They're all in the AFC, right? So moving someone like Aaron Rodgers to the AFC, it's like, all right, old head, you're now you playing in a young buck AAU. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of young cats over here that want to get after it. So I don't see him going over there and just like knocking people upside the head. But do the Jets become a contender? Yes. Can they now finally compete in the AFC East? Yes. You know what I mean? We just have to wait to see what happens once he gets to the team and they finally get working. But like I said, all the top quarterbacks, like the top 8, at least the top 8. If you got the top 10 out of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, at least 8 of them are AFC quarterbacks.
I'll say this, and yes, I think it puts the Jets over the top. I think they were already a contender. I mean, you want to talk about, everybody talks about San Francisco and their quarterback play and them not having the lack of quarterback play. You can make the same exact argument for the New York Jets. The defense, comparable, it's not elite, it's not San Francisco type D, but it's close. And then you got terrible. It wasn't the fact that they didn't even have a quarterback. It was that the quarterback play was awful. Zach Wilson was terrible. And if you're telling me that you can get an Aaron Rodgers in there and he can do half of what he's done in his career, I don't see how that doesn't put them over the top in the AFC East. I'm not saying the whole AFC because you're right. Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, right now, currently still in the AFC.
I'll let Deshaun Watson. He when he gets it, he can be a beast. Deshaun Watson, I'll put his name in there, but
he plays for the Browns.
We gotta find that video clip, bro. Of the boy outside.
We gonna find it. He plays for the Browns.
Right.
So yeah, and then you got San Diego, Herbert. Here, he's gonna get better. So you're right. I think 5 or 6 other quarterbacks in the AFC. Josh Allen, you can't take him out of there, even though the Buffalo Bills haven't been able to get over the hump at this point. But yeah, you got to say at least 6 of the top quarterbacks is in the NFC and the AFC, and then you got the Jalen Hurts of the world, the Dak Prescotts of the world. Now Derek Carr, he's a better than average quarterback. He's in the situation now, playing for the Saints. So you're right. And even though I can't stand Kirk Cousins, he does win at least in the regular season, even though he can't win in the playoffs. I ain't even gonna touch on what the Giants did signing Daniel Jones to whatever he got signed to. That was foolish. But I agree. I think it puts the Jets over the top, at least to be not just a playoff contender, but at least maybe even if they get to the playoffs, that they can get a playoff win. I think that's what I'm predicting. If they I'm gonna make that prediction right now. If they make that move and they can get Aaron Rodgers, I believe that they will come out of the AFC East, and I believe that they will get a playoff victory, depending on who they play. But I still think that they're capable.
Yeah, they definitely have the potential to do that.
It's the LeBron factor. If you got him and you can get in the playoffs, you got a chance.
Right.
And that's what it is. So
I go back to the one thing you said, and we can segue out of this one. When the Bears had their good that year, and you was like, no one that saw them coming, no one expected to see it. Now they're looking for them, and I think that's the same thing's going to be in New York. Like they're going to be checking for them. It's not going to be. That's why those one spark years that certain teams have. It's like no, like let's see, like 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? Years down the line,
they won't be overlooked.
I think that the Jets will be pretty good.
Yeah, they won't be overlooked. I agree. So, as I mentioned earlier in the show, that the NBA play-in came in. And real quick, we don't have to belabor the point, but real quick, what do you think about the play-in? I personally like it. I like it because it just gives teams a chance. It gives the NBA more people to watch. I think it gives that element of a touch of the college basketball. Hey, win and you move forward, or if you lose, it's not totally over. You can still get a chance to be the 8th seed. Like you're fighting out for the 7th and 8th seed, which to me is great because 7th and 8th seeds, let's just be fair, in the NBA, trash. Right. Not gonna win. So why not have the 7, 8, 9, 10 seeds, fight it out? So what do you think? What do you think about it?
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of the play-in and stuff like that. But the first this happened during COVID, right? Because of the COVID situation, he ended up having to do the play-in.
No, well, it was right after. It's only been 2 years, I want to say. I'll have to fact check that, but it's only 2 years. But I mean, it's basically like you just said. It gives people an opportunity to play in, but just the idea, even if you don't watch the concept. How do you feel about the concept?
I like it. If it's only maybe under the top 4 seeds, like if you're top 5, like to maybe the 8, then you do a play in there.
It's top 6. So top 6 are in.
I wouldn't like it if the top 1 team has to go up against a lower squad, and they just happen to get smoked because of a bad day, and then the 8th. Okay.
No, it's a battle. It's a 7 through 10 battle for the 8th, for the 7th and 8th spot. That's basically what it is.
I think that's great. You know what I mean? I think that's good. I think that's good to give these guys an opportunity because it's like, I mean, then at the same time, it's like, bro, you get to suck all season long and then just turn it and get to do something. It's like, bro, you're trash. Yeah. You're 11 and 8. Like, you don't get to be playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and other teams that get to that 7th, 8th spot, or that spot up there, and it's like, all right, now you got to go in and you got to show that grit again, and you might get wiped out. So, I mean, I do like it in the concept of it. I haven't really been watching it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I wait till after the play-in, then I watch. Like I'm just gonna be straight up with you. But
I mean, some people will do that.
I know what's going on right now. I'll sit down and watch it, and then I can give you some more insight on it. But I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I think it's like I said, I think it's a great thing for the league. Like right now. So I, give you the play-in matchups. I mentioned Miami and Atlanta earlier. Toronto and Chicago are going to be playing. They're the 9 and 10 seed, and then they have on the Western Conference. They have the 9 and 10 is New Orleans and OKC, which is been marginally it's only a 2-game difference between the two of those teams. Okay. The Lakers are playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, and so the way they have it is that if you lose a game, then you play for the 8th spot. Okay. If you win tonight, like the 7th and 8th seed, if the Lakers win tonight, they automatically become the 7th seed, and they got to play the Memphis Grizzlies. The Lakers got to play the Memphis Grizzlies, and the winner of the 9 and 10 seed game will play the loser of the 7 and 8 seed.
I
So,
got you.
so the winner of the 9 and 10 will play the 8th seed and basically battle you for your 8th spot.
Right.
And look, if you in the 8th spot and you lose twice, you don't need to be in the playoff.
Yeah, you're done. And the loser of the 9-10 game, it's just a wrap for you. You don't get, it's a wrap.
Loser of the 9-10 game, it's a wrap. You're done.
One squad gets to, so it's really about the 7th and 8th, right? Because that squad locks them in that 8th seed. Hey man, you got another rumble against the lower seed beneath. Okay, I get you. All right.
I actually, since on the breakdown and the analysis right now, and then we'll get to the NBA playoffs next week. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs and where those at, because those are going to go on obviously for series. So
right.
I honestly, I said this before, and people was like, oh, I want the Lakers to win. I really would rather see the Lakers play the Denver Nuggets, and I know the Denver Nuggets is the number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
I really would love to see an 8th seed Laker team go up against a number 1 seed Denver Nuggets team. I would love to see them battle that giant, slay that giant. I think it would be great for basketball if that happened. But more than likely, the Lakers will probably win tonight, and then they'll play, and then they'll end up playing the Memphis Grizzlies, man. And I don't know, man. I think the Memphis Grizzlies is a team to be reckoned with. But with that being said,
I said they got some young dogs on that squad.
But the Lakers ended up beating the Memphis Grizzlies, which I don't think will happen. I think in the series, I think the Grizzlies will edge the Lakers. I just don't think the Lakers have enough firepower. Even with LeBron, I think that that it's just not a great matchup. I think that the matchup is better with a team like the Nuggets because they only have one big. Really, that's and you got to move him out and have him playing against Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis is wiry and athletic, and I just think it would be a bad matchup for them. Just on the Western Conference side. On the Eastern Conference side, I think Miami and Atlanta. Miami has a track record of being involved in the playoffs. Bulls and Toronto, I don't know, man. I mean, the Bulls win, they get to go try to play for the eighth seed. Same with the Raptors. I just think that both those teams are kind of sometimey. I don't really know which one, but their matchups. When I look at this list, when I look at Toronto, Chicago, Miami, any one of them, Bucks are the number 2 seed, number 1 seed. Mm-hmm. Boston's the number 2 seed. I don't care who out of them playing games is playing either of those teams. So, they're going to lose if any of the Eastern Conference teams in the play-in play Milwaukee or Boston. So, I think it's a lot more parity up there. So I wanted to talk about elephant in the room right now. NBA is the MVP race. We got
who's up for it? Who's up for it? Is Embiid in there again?
It's Embiid. Embiid is gonna be Giannis. I see you duck your head like that.
Because they're not gonna a monster. He's not gonna get it.
He's been a monster again this year. Right. Jokic is in it, Giannis and Embiid. And the big to do right now is talking about Jokic getting it the 3rd time in a row. 3rd time in a row. Now, that we've gotten in NFL, NBA MVP fatigue, and because to be honest with you, when LeBron was winning the MVPs, he could have won them every year.
Absolutely,
man. That span of 8 seasons where he was 9 finals in a row, not even arguable who the best player in the NBA at that time was, especially when it comes to winning and trying to get his team and uplifting his team. But I'm getting Steve Nash winning the MVP over Shaq vibes when we talking about Jokic. I don't care about the PER numbers. Giannis still has the edge on most of those guys. I don't care about Denver's record. What I care about is the eye test.
Okay.
When I look at Jokic, Jokic is a great basketball player. No question he should be in the conversation for MVP. But when I see Giannis play, there's no way Jokic could compete with Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I see Giannis play against Embiid, Giannis will get him. Sixers typically win.
Right.
So I think it's Embiid's year. I don't think he's begging for it like everybody's saying. Like Giannis kind of alluded to that he's begging for it, that the Sixers are begging for it. I don't think that's the situation. I think that, he deserves it. He's by far been the best player in the league this year.
Right.
And I don't care that his team is in the three seed. I think Embiid should get the MVP. So from those three, what are your thoughts on that? I'm interested to hear.
I'm with Joel Embiid. I love how he plays. I mean, he's a monster in the paint. I just don't think he's going to get it again because they looked over him the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? It's been overlooked. Like I see patterns, bro. And I mean, everything you said is absolutely correct.
Injuries, I think, played a role in the last 2 seasons. He's been
that guy.
Healthy. He's been relatively healthy all year this year. So go ahead.
And I wish we knew what the criteria was for what an MVP, what wins you the MVP. But I don't know what it is when you see what these guys do when they go versus each other or how beneficial they are to the team, and then you go over here with it. You know what I mean? Same thing. Not to switch it back to football, but the same thing with Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes. Remember, it came down to who does this or who does that. It's like, are we talking most valuable to the NFL or most valuable to your team? Right. You know what I'm saying? Talking most valuable to your team, then it's clearly it should go this way. So until I know what the clear criteria is, if I'm going straight up off the eye test, I got Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? And not just being on nothing like that, but I got Joel Embiid. I think any given Saturday or whenever they play, he could dominate either one of those guys. Yeah, and if you're right. I don't know what the criteria is anymore because people were making such a big case. And, when we do our NFL preview, when the NFL league starts up again, listen, this isn't a talent award. Right.
This isn't what it should be, what you're capable of doing. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes. There's no question Patrick Mahomes is the most talented quarterback in the NFL. There's no question that he's going to get numbers. And I made this case before when I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. I feel like that this passing touchdown stat is skewed because when you're a quarterback that passes the ball 90% of the time in the red zone, you're going to have passing touchdowns. And I guarantee you, and I haven't done this stat, just look up, but I'm going to do it. If you look at the length of yardage for the touchdown passes that Patrick Mahomes has, that Aaron Rodgers has had in the past, I guarantee you half of those touchdowns are 5 yards or less.
Mm-hmm.
In the Super Bowl, touchdowns weren't deep touchdowns.
Right.
They were touchdowns thrown within 10 yards of the end zone. And you could easily make a case. Jalen Hurts, the Philadelphia Eagles led the league in rushing touchdowns.
Right.
Period. Not just Jalen Hurts. Miles Sanders had over 10 touchdowns. Right. They led the league in rushing touchdowns, and he still accumulated for 32 plus touchdowns for his team. When they took him out, they lost both games.
Yes.
He was 17-1 as a starter, dating back to last year.
Yes.
There's no question in my mind that he should have been the MVP, and I'm not just saying that because I'm from Philadelphia. I would have. Patrick Mahomes, like I said, it's not a talent award. Giannis is a freak.
Right.
Is a freak of nature. He can't be stopped most times, just like Shaq was.
Right.
But Joel Embiid is the most complete player. He can shoot, he can dribble, he can defend, he can rebound, he can block shots.
Right.
And he is by far the core of that team. If he's not there, they're not going to win. And you can make the same argument for Giannis, which is why I think Giannis would be number 2 in the MVP voting. But I just don't see how you telling me a guy who hasn't won anything yet, 3 times in a row the best player in the NBA. You can't get to the Western Conference Finals.
Bruh. Like I said, I'm like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Again, I don't know if it's marketability, if they want the guys to be marketable, because that's the one thing I said about Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes is that Jalen Hurts, that one thing I love about him is that the dude's like a sphinx. Like he's never too high, he's never too low. And he's not the type who's going to hop on a Campbell Soup commercial and be like, "Hi, I'm Jalen Hurts." He's not going to do it. Patrick Mahomes, nothing against Patrick Mahomes, though, he has that type of charisma to him. Jalen gonna be like, "Yo, get the camera out of my face. I'm over here doing something." Like, not trying to be rude, but he just seems like that kind of guy. And it's like, if that's all then that's what you have to judge the MVP on. MVP on is who can you put on a commercial to market to the NFL? And then Patrick wins it. Because other stat wise and game wise, it would have to go to Jalen Hurts, bro. If you're looking for something different or more.
I don't even know what it is, because what it is with the Browns, because they tend to get a quarterback that gets all these commercials. Like Deshaun, no, I get it.
He can't like do that.
They can't do that with this.
And play football. Just stay in your room, son.
Stay in your lane, Dave. Stay in your lane.
Football, like, don't do nothing else.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
All these progressive commercials. That's who own the field. They had all these commercials. Even Brady Quinn.
Yeah. Oh.
Quinn.
The milk. He had the milk, right? It was.
He had the EAS sports commercial where he was working out on the treadmill, and he gave this look. He like, "Now I'm done." You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
you're right. He was right. He was foretelling his career. He was right.
About your career, you're done. So I don't know, man. I'm really, really interested in seeing how this plays out. To be honest with you, I don't care about. I love what LeBron has done in his career. It's remarkable. 28 points a game this season in your 20th year in the NBA.
Right.
I don't think that we appreciate it enough. Just like Kobe.
Right.
I appreciate Kobe as much as I did post-career. I wasn't a Kobe fan. I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't a Kobe fan. I thought he was very brash, very arrogant. I saw some of the things that he said to his teammates when I was living in California. I'm just like, man, what kind of dude you going to play with like that? But I understand who he is now. His work ethic is by far I don't think that there's anybody comparable, even Michael Jordan. I don't think that anybody worked harder than Kobe Bryant. Right. It's just not even a question to me. But whatever happens this playoffs with LeBron, I don't really care. I think his legacy is cemented. If he wins another championship, great. It's still 5. It's not going to be as many as Michael, so people are going to make that claim. But I would really like to see some parity. I'd like to see somebody other than man. That's the thing. I'm not a Golden State hater. I like Steph Curry's game. I think it's terrible for basketball because everybody wants to shoot threes now.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
I think Steph Curry just did what was good for him in his game.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
He was never a big guy. He had the ankle injuries, right? He couldn't really. He was never a big guy. He's like, yo, if I'm going to last in this league, I have to become the best bow and arrow guy out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's what he does
from wherever. And so he made that the best part of his game. Now, can he dribble? Absolutely. Can he score? Facilitator of the ball, all that good stuff. But I don't know. Blame him for the fact that somebody saw that and was like, "Ooh, I want to do that too." Bro, you're 6'8". Go dunk the ball. Why are you doing that? I don't want to see you shoot from 50 feet. He had to do that in order for him to survive in the league because he was getting beat up. Yeah. He was going to go the AI route if he didn't learn and adapt and change his game. And his dad was like, "Yo, man, shoot that joker." And he was greenlit ever since. Even in college, college he was able to shoot the Davis. But the way he shoots now is just ridiculous. Like, and he mastered.
It's crazy. I've coined him as a one-trick pony
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty damn good at that one trick. I mean, if you gonna have one trick,
yeah,
he's the best
at it. Yeah,
not just at it.
Yeah,
that trick. He's the best shooter that we have ever seen in the NBA. It's not even a debate. But you're right. I don't blame him. I blame him in the sense that he gave fool's gold to analytics and to everybody else in the NBA and basketball, period. I've watched too many travel ball games, too many college basketball games, too many games where I've coached, and I coached girls, boys, and I tell them, don't shoot that. That's not a high percentage shot. Right. I don't care what the analytics tell you. Analytics will tell you that missing a three-pointer is better than making a two-pointer. Mm-hmm. What kind of foolishness is that? I don't get that scale balance at all. Yeah. And I'm just saying that because of that, because of his grandioso success, it's just like back in the day, man, we played. Yeah. Dunking on somebody. Oh, that's what you wanted to do. Now you want to hit the three and step back three in his face and turn around and you was getting me chest to chest, face to face, bumping into you, knocking you on the ground, posterized, kind of vicious.
And to be fair, though, the league has changed. It's a lot softer. You can't really do a lot of those things. You go up hard body on somebody and bow, they might call a charging foul. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's that. We didn't even get on the officiating.
You know what I'm saying? So with the changing of the guard, not changing of the guard, but the changing of the league rules, I get it. But I do miss that back in the day. Cats like Dominique Wilkins, you know what I'm saying? Going at you like that. Listen, I know a lot of people may not remember, bro. Ray Allen, before he did the three, he going baseline. Like he going baseline on you. Like that reversing it with you know what I'm saying? Just flat out disgusting. So I get you. I miss that in basketball. Like I miss that. I miss those guys. That's why cats like Vince Carter was so phenomenal to watch. J.R. Ryder, you know what I'm saying? These guys were I couldn't say Harold Miner, but Harold Miner was more of a dunk contest kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Still though.
Yeah, like Grandmama, like Larry Johnson, those cats, like that's what you like. And to me, listen, when you talk about a lanky, nasty dunker, that was just like, Sean Kemp, bro. Give me Sean Kemp. Yeah. Rain Man. And I'm like, yo, I mean, he just made it look nasty. Like it was just, it was horrible.
And he had so much swag.
Yeah.
He had so much swag.
Kevin Garnett, bro. Like he was, you know what I'm saying? So so I miss that.
It's different. It's different just like the NFL is different.
Yeah.
You can't hit guys anymore, and they don't teach you how to hit them the right way. Right. Guys feel like I'm just gonna shorten the distance and trying to learn, and I'm just gonna shoot a three-pointer. Instead of going to the basket, having to move and doing all that stuff. AI could get you 50. 47 of those was going to be inside the three-pointer.
Kyrie Irving, I think he's one of those guys that can do that.
Kyrie's a guy like that. Just having the ability to shoot doesn't mean you should shoot all the time. I think having the ability to score, production matters. Yes, Kevin Durant in the league right now is probably the most unguardable player. But he's going to give you 27 points a game. Okay, great. LeBron's going to give you 28 points a game. I don't care how he gets it. I don't care. We didn't start talking about moves and things like that when we started to discredit great basketball players. Because how many moves did Kareem have?
Right. Well,
3. And he was the NBA's all-time leading scorer. He wasn't Michael Jordan. He wasn't Kobe Bryant. Karl Malone didn't have a plethora of moves. He got to the free throw line 10 to 12 times a game.
Well,
so production matters, in my opinion.
When it started to change around a lot, and this is your guy, so I know you're definitely going to know, was when a certain individual from, I hope I get this right, Chapel Hill made it to the league. Was it Chapel Hill Capitol Hill, Mr. Grant Hill.
Oh, you talking about Grant Hill? Well, him, Durham, actually.
Yeah,
Duke. He was at Duke.
Duke. Okay, Duke. Okay, yeah, Duke. Sorry, don't kill me, podcast guys. Okay?
No, it's cool. It's cool. That's it. I can't stand Duke. Sorry for y'all Duke fans. I'm a North Carolina Tar Heels fan. Sorry, but Grant Hill.
Yeah,
Grant Hill, dog. That was my dude.
he was that guy.
He was that guy.
He move. He would catch you. He'd come down. Boom,
Sneaky athleticism.
I think he got a couple bodies on Jordan too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's not play with it.
Pippen.
Yeah, let's not play with it. Like, he really that first hybrid. Like, yo, whoa, hold up. How can I move like this guy?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of a player, and then just kind of evolve from there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think that we I think that, you know, just, I mean, we can reminisce all day. I think just to, you know, to wrap it up, I think that we're talking about the state of the NBA because, you know, playoffs is coming up right now. It's a lot of young talent, and I think that they're the ambassadors of the future that's going to make the game be whatever it's going to be. And that's going to be the same situation in the NFL and any other sport. Is that you got to recognize the past and find out what it was that brought you to where you are now. And I think that the NFL officials need to get it right. They need to fix some of these rules when it comes to replay. I think the NBA, you take control of having a more physical basketball game when you stop allowing referees to just call anything.
Right.
Call fouls that don't exist. If you allow guys to play physical, they will adapt.
Yeah.
They will adapt. If we just flat out say, listen, we're not putting rules in place, we're not putting replays in place, you get smacked, okay, we'll call it then.
You're not bleeding, no blood, no foul. No blood, no foul.
I think we need to let guys bang a little bit more. Have guys be in the paint. I think we need to stop protecting these 3-point shooters. Hey, you come down on my ankle, that's your bad. Too bad. Land different.
Yeah.
we didn't have that when I played. Land different.
If you do more plyos.
Hey man, get your ankles strong. Because guess what? Somebody's foot might be down there when you come down. They don't have those rules when you in the paint, jumping up and down, getting rebounds. So if you want to shoot and fall down, I'll be a rep like, man, get up. I'm not calling that.
Right.
Stop allowing and enabling these guys. And I think that those things would change the game moving forward. You know, I love hoops and football. And I think that football, the things that they've done in football, I think is the right thing. They protect the players. I think that these head injuries have gotten out of control.
Right.
With the DeMar Hamlin, I don't even think that that's probably relevant because I don't think it was anything specific.
That thing that happened, like that was
that was a one-off.
Everything was formed. That would have happened. That was going to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? At any moment that could happen. Yeah. Like, so that was just a very freak thing, very scary thing, but a very freak event that happened.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. So, you know, we can put a bow on this. I mean, we can talk forever. I mean, this is just one of those things.
So what we'll do, we'll get on it. We'll get on this next podcast. But I do think the future of the NFL and the NBA and the WNBA is going to be changing very, very soon. And I blame a lot of that on these new NIL deals, right? And we can talk about that.
Yeah.
We can talk about that because I do want to talk about it because I've seen some people mentioning it and like seeing where it'll go. Like, and everything up high starts down low. So eventually it's going to trickle its way into high school, right? It's going to. It's going to, right? Because I see it in some of these 7v7s, you know, these kids are on their way to high school and they already got NIL deals. Like, so we'll see. And NIL deals with brands, and we'll see. And I say that to say this, and then, like I said, we'll wrap it up and we'll bring it up next week, is that Angel Reese, in a recent interview, says she's in no rush to go to the WNBA. And they're like, well, why is that? She says, because I make as much money as one of the highest paid players do right now because she has, count them out, 17 NIL deals. So she makes over $3,000, right? She's like, why am I going to eat? What am I going for? So again, I don't want to tap into it now, but podcast commenters, they talk about it. We're going to bring it up next podcast. But I think that's into what the league looks like going forward because, you know, it's just going to change the landscape.
Like you said, I'll just lightly touch on it, like you said. I think that it was a great thing for college football and college sports, period. because let's just be real. And I'm gonna toss a ballpark numbers to you. And
Yeah.
one of the reasons why Deion left Jackson State. Forget all this, all the
without question.
All these people complaining about what he didn't do or what he should have done. I think you know everything. I'm not saying I do. All I know is what he said. And it was more than one occasion that he asked. It says here that we got 68,000 people in these seats, but you only got 30,000 tickets sold. And his income was off of some of those sales for tickets.
Right.
So somebody was doing what?
Oh, yeah.
That money.
Playing nickel slick.
That money. Yeah.
Playing
like the slick. So they was pocketing that money. And the college sports has been benefiting on the backs of college players for decades. Right. And let's just be real. There's some players in college that may not ever pan out in the NFL.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Now teaching our youths that going to college and playing in college, or just going to college, period, you can still springboard your career into being an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer, and you can be good at a sport. Think about what it would have done for somebody like Myron Rolle, who was a Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah.
From Harvard.
Yeah.
The NFL safety. About what kind of money he could have made playing at Florida State.
Yeah.
Prior to that. So there's a lot of NFL players, like you said, we'll talk about this next time. You know, NFL players, NBA players that were great college players, never got that bag because they didn't play in the league long enough.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a great opportunity. I don't care about people, oh, your education is, you know, that's enough to pay for everything. No. These schools make billions
of dollars.
Making money off of the backs of collegiate players.
Yeah.
And at this point, I think you should allow them the opportunity to make that money.
Right.
That's just where I'm at with it.
All right.
But we'll talk about it more in the next podcast. We'll talk about it more. Like
Absolutely.
I said, we do this all day.
Comments, you know, for anything, any words of wisdom or anything like that, or?
Nah, man. I you know what? Like I said, we end these with the positive note. You know, I just feel like I appreciate everybody supportive of us. Continue to support. Tell your friends, even if you don't know about sports, if you don't know about the NFL and the NBA, we'll give you some talk. We'll give you some water cooler conversations.
Absolutely.
You might be able to bring up these comments and things like that with people that work. You ain't got to know everything about sports because we don't. It's just have a passion for it.
Right.
And we appreciate all y'all supporting us. So, you know, as we continue to grow.
Absolutely, man. Which we want to say thank you to all the podcasts, like you said, the podcast supporters, everybody that's tuning in, that's looking at this like we enjoy it. Like I woke up Friday like, ooh,
what we gonna talk about next? Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to the NFL. Listen, y'all know, just, you know, spoiler alert, NFL draft come, we doing one live.
Absolutely.
Live. We're going to be live on the first day of the NFL draft. We're going to have all our, you know, team supportive gear, and we'll give you live reactions to those draft picks on those days. So
I might have to go Uncle Shay and get a bottle of Hen Dog. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it's around my birthday.
Tennessee going sponsors. I'm turning the label away. But I'm just saying.
The NFL draft is always around my birthday.
Absolutely.
It's always a treat for me. I enjoy it.
Like I said, tune in. We're going to have a live podcast for the NFL draft. We're going to have live reactions. We're going to get it set up, man. We might do it live on YouTube. Y'all can comment live right there in the comment section. We can see the comments, and you know what I mean? We'll just go back and forth with you guys. So we're looking forward to it, man. And
appreciate y'all.
Always a pleasure, baby. You know what I'm saying?
It's what we do, man.
Hey, but for Scott and Brandon Anderson on the Agents of Chaos podcast, man, we'll see y'all next week.
Yep. See you next week, man. All right, bro.